Hello. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Candy Michael in Powell, Ohio, and I am very excited about my cards today because I have a lot of designer series paper, and my guess is you do too, and that you might be a collector like I am. But I love it and I love using it, and it's nice to have it around, especially when I need to make a really quick card and a cute card. Hi, Mona. Thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to show you, it's the same card, a little bit different on the inside of each, but the cut for your DSP, for your designer series paper, is the same. So this should make it nice and easy. I'm going to show you a manly card, which this was the first one I made. The other one is very similar, but I used the Knight of Navy. But look at how cute. Let me go ahead and show you while I have it out here. Yay! So I'm going to teach you how to cut this paper and make it fit all the way across. And I used a piece of 6x6. So it made it very, very simple. And then I added a little tag and a little more color. So I'm going to be showing you that. But I have a couple other cards that are already made as well. And I'll show you those so that you can get some other ideas and hopefully come up with some great ideas of your own. So I left these across the room. I want to grab them because these are my show and tell at the end. So let me get started. For this card, I love this Biggest Wish stamp set. It's really cute and very versatile. And that's what I used here on the front. So I'll show you exactly how I did that just by using the big birthday and the cute little happy there. So let me get started. Hello, Anita and Debbie Blake. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So these are the dies that I used from the stitched rectangle dies, and this is one from the tailor-made dies, which I'll show you what these look like. I know I've used them many times, but let me tell you something. These are my go-to dies. I love them. They are working out really, really greatly. So I used this one with a little different, little fancy cut there. And I already have my pieces cut, but I just wanted to show you what I used. And this rectangle die, it is the one that is sized about 3 1/4 to like 1 7/8. So it's that size of the rectangle die, which you'll see because it fits behind that piece very nicely. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let me also tell you about my website, candystampers.com. And I'm working really hard. I have a friend that is helping me get some things posted. So I'm trying to keep up and run as fast as I can to keep everything going. So she's a huge help as well. So a big shout out to Caroline. Yay, Caroline. So today when I show you my cards, I have typed up everything that I'm using. I'm going to see if it fits here in the camera. So I have my host code for this month of October, and you can go to my candystampers.com site and access my Stampin' Up site as well. It'll say shop now, and you can click on there and you can go ahead and go shopping today. And also Stampin' Up did update the clearance rack, so if you haven't had a chance to take a look, you may want to jump on there and grab some items because they had some great things earlier. I haven't looked for a while, but just a big shout out. I'll put this back so that you can have all the measurements again and maybe take a screenshot later. All right, I'm going to set this up here so I can read what I'm doing. And I'll set my little tag off to the side as well. So let me bring over my crumb cake base and my navy DSP, and this is from our neutrals pack. And it comes 6x6, which is perfect for this. We sell a lot of 6x6 paper, but of course your 12x12 can be cut down just as easily. Any size paper can be cut down. And then I'm using a piece of the early espresso and then the white, basic white, and I have a piece of crumb cake for my front of the tag. So I'm going to set some of this aside and teach you guys how I cut this paper, because this paper cut is the same on every card that I'm making today. So it makes it very, very easy for you guys to pull out some paper and cut. You could even cut along if you want. Okay, so I have my little, let me move this paper out of the way. I have my little Stampin' Up! Cutter. Well, it's not so little. Oh, and by the way, I had my nails done today. What do you think? Pretty fall colors, huh? Or color, I should say. Let me see. Where's the camera? There. It was so pretty. I had the girl pick it out for me. I said, I don't know, you pick. So that's what she chose. And I thought, very nice. Okay, guys, so here's how the cuts work. You want your first cut to be at 5 1/4 because that is how tall it is for all of these pieces. They're the same height. So we want our first cut to be 5 1/4 because this piece is going to just be set to the side. We are not going to use that, but you can throw it in your scrap bin like I do because someday I'm going to need it, right? Okay, so to make the cutting easier, I'm just going to tell you how to go from bigger to small, but that's not how they get arranged on here. But next one we're going to cut is this panel, and it's 2 1/4. It just made it easier for me when I was cutting. Sorry, the very first one is our front panel, and this is 2 3/4. And then the next one will be 2 1/4. So we have 2 3/4. That's our very front piece. There we go. The next one is going to be 2 1/4. You can cut them in any order. It doesn't matter. But this is so cool. Check this out. Cutting it at 2 1/4. And then this last piece is an automatically already cut at 1 1/8 for you. So that's all you have to do is just cut off this first piece, that 5 1/4 piece, cut that, move that aside. And then all of these pieces, it's a perfect cut for a perfect fit onto your cards. Next, what I want to do, I'm going to bring this back so I have something underneath me. Next, what I've done is I've taken my piece of crumb cake, and all of my base on all of these cards are the same. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Hi, Paula. I see a little wave there. Hello. Or maybe it's like this. Hello. So I've taken my crumb cake piece, and like I said, all my other base cards are the same. And I've cut them at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then it's scored at 4 1/4, and it is scored again at 7. So when it's all laid out, it's at 4 1/4 and at 7 inches. And then you're just going to fold this back. When you fold this back, make sure you go in and get a really good crease on that so it lays down flat. Okay, so my bone folder comes in very handy for that. There you go. So this is what it looks like. And this is what it'll look like when it's done. It just all folds and opens up. Isn't that super cool? Now, I have 2 different styles on the inside that I'm going to show you today, but this is the first one. And what I'm going to do is, I'll show you later, but I have written on my other card to glue here and not here, because the first piece that I made for my sample, I had put glue all over it, and that would not work because then your card would be glued shut. So remember, when you put your glue on, when you're starting, you want to put your glue on here. So as you know, if you've watched me before, I love this Tombow liquid glue. It is the best. And I love it because I can slide my pieces around if I need to. So I'm going to pull this out. And the cool thing is you can kind of pull it to the side here, like when you close it, and that'll tell you if you're straight and if you're even. So that was my little trick there. Okay, so it gets better. When we open this up, our small piece will go next, and it's going to just border right where the little fold is in the middle, that 4 1/4 piece. So this is going to just kind of border that, but I'm going to, I don't want to say border. That's probably not the right word. But my crease is here, and I know you can't really see it on the camera. But I'm just going to position it right in the middle of the crease and this, so it has a little space. We need a little spacey card here. So then I can glue this down. And that looks pretty straight. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces glued. Now this third piece is going to come in to the other side of the fold, which you'll see there's the fold. And we're just going to line this one up here. So this is our 2 1/4 inch piece. You guys, this is like super simple. If you have a ton of designer paper, you need to pull it out and make a bunch of these cards. You can cut several pieces of designer paper at the same time because they're thin enough that I know on my cutter they'll go through, and probably on your cutter too. So I want to get that a little closer to the edge here, but I think that looks good. Next, I chose a piece of white cardstock, and this piece is going to fit right in the end here. So like I said, the inside will be finished differently on another card, but this is one way of teaching you. So this is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. Now, I do want to do my stamping before I glue it down, so I'm going to set this aside for one quick second, and then we'll do our stamping. So I chose, for the inside of the card, I chose the Handsomely Suited stamp set, and I put the cute little bow and You're the Best for my inside. So it's going to look just like this. Super cute. And I put both stamps, well, it helps if it's right side up, but I put both stamps on the same block. So we're going to use Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to keep wanting to do that upside down. I guess I could have put the bow the other way, but just a light tap, and then we're going to stamp this right at the top, and it'll fit just perfectly. I had to find the right stamps for this small of an area. Look at that. Yay. So that's, I am going to need this too. I'm going to leave that out. Okay. So this is going to be my inside, and it will fit right into that last little area over there. Let's see. Right about there. Okay, so now all of that is done, and I'm just going to show you quickly how I did the front. So I cut just a little piece. It's 1 1/4 inch by 2 1/2 inches, and I am simply going to just glue this onto the front. Nope. I want to glue it onto this piece first. So this is my little rectangle die piece that was cut out. And we're just going to put this on here. I needed a little color on the back. The white would have been okay, but I wanted to just add just a little bit of color. And I'm going to glue that right to the end. But be careful because it does hang off a little bit over here, so you don't want to get glue. So I'm just going to hold my fingers there so I remember not to glue that area, because that would not be a good thing. So here we go. Just like that. And then lastly, I'm going to stamp my tag. And this is the, again, the Biggest Wish stamp set that I'm using, and I'm using the Happy and the Big Birthday, the Little Happy and the Big Birthday. So I hope you guys love this. I really love this card. Well, all of them. They were so much fun to make. And then I'll show you some other ones that I've done for some classes this last week. Let me stamp that off and just make sure we're good and inked. Okay, so when I did this Happy Birthday, here, I'll show you the sample. I did stamp off the back first, because I just used the one stamp, or one ink color, I should say. So now I'm going to breathe on that just to make sure I didn't get too much ink off of there. And stamp that on there. So you can use one ink pad and it'll go a little bit further. Now for the happy, just making sure I get that nice and juicy. And then I'm going to just simply stamp it right over the top. Make sure that's straight. And because it's a darker color, look at how cute that came out. Oh, thanks, Paula. I'm telling you. And I know so often, I mean, I raised 2 boys, and it's always hard to find things for the guys' cards. So this worked out really nicely for me. Okay, so next, I want to let that dry for a second. I took some of our linen thread, and I'm guessing it's about, come on, Candy. I'm guessing it's about 4 inches, and I just did that so I had 4 pieces. So you could do as much as you want, but I thought this would look really, really nicely. And then I just cut the edges so that they were all even, well, pretty close. Now these I'm going to feed through the end, so I do want to make sure that they're even. A couple ways you can do it. You can do it this way and then just tie a knot, or you can loop them through. But I just chose to do it this way to make a really simple, oops, come on, don't be left behind. We don't want any stragglers. And then I'm going to just simply make myself my little knot. And then you can kind of fluff this up a little, and I did trim it. Right about like that. Come on. Can't get a hold of it. There we go. Well, it's not the best trim job, but oh Lord. Let me get this. You should see what it looks like. It's pretty funny. Okay, there we go. That worked a little bit better. So now I have my tag and I just have it kind of hanging out. I'm going to pull this up so I can see my crumb cake behind it and add some dimensionals to it. You guys, isn't this cute? Super simple. It's the measurements. Once you have those measurements down, you can just sit and cut your paper, come up with some fun backgrounds. You know, your base color, I mean, for your cardstock, whatever coordinates with it, of course. And come up with some fun card ideas yourself. So I just want to pull this a little bit so that I can see that crumb cake piece behind. And then this is going to hang over the edge. So here's our finished masculine card. You are the best. You're the best for tuning in today. So I made one with the Misty Moonlight, and then I made another one with the Night of Navy DSP. So I'm going to set those aside and move on to a couple holiday cards. So this holiday card was made the same as far as that back panel. This one I used the, where's my DSP? This is the Gingerbread and Peppermint paper. Super cute. If you have not seen this, it's a pack of 6x6. And it just has some of the cutest designs. And many of these line up with the dies and they coordinate with the stamps as well, which I got the paper, but I ordered the paper and then a while back, and then recently ordered the bundle, and it hasn't come in yet because I just ordered it. Well, last week. So I'll be waiting on that. But in the meantime, I just grabbed some other stamps that I had to play with. So this stamp set is called, I hit it. It's called the Holly Jolly Wishes. And I'm using the Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. And then on the inside, I'll show you what that says. But this is the stamps, the words that I'm using. Hi, Maureen. Okay, so this again is our opening, our fold and our open. Isn't that cute? So I showed you guys how to cut that. You can cut any of the paper and it's all going to come out very, very similar. So on this card, I used the Granny Apple Green, but On the one I'm going to make you, it's going to have a different inside. But I wanted to show you because this inside is the same as this, meaning this back panel, because the next one will be a little bit different. And I want to show you that. So I used the same cardstock. I have already cut it all. And look, I made myself a note, glue here, because I wanted to make sure. Thanks, Karen. I wanted to make sure I didn't glue my card shut because I almost did on my first sample that I was making. Okay, so I'm taking my DSP, and then I'm going to have a challenge for you guys. And while I'm working on this, I'm going to ask you. This one I did with Granny Apple green. This one I'm working on is with Old Olive. So here's the Old Olive color. Here's the Granny Apple. Tell me which one you like better. I don't know how easy it is to see. This one, the Granny Apple, is a little brighter. And then the Old Olive is a little bit darker, a little more muted. So tell me which color you like better because I'm going to create this card for you. So glue here. Again, I wrote myself a note. Oops, I don't want that over too far because I want my paper to come just like that. But I kind of need it to pull towards the end here so I don't have too much paper showing underneath it. Okay, Donna likes the Granny Apple. You know what? These bright colors are so in right now at Christmas. Or just in general, but especially with all the Christmas stuff coming out. Okay, so we have our front panel glued. Next, we're going to do our little piece for the inside here. So I fumble around with all my papers. And, you know, I had to use this paper because it had candy on it. And, you know, with the name being Candy, I thought, I'll make a candy card. How fun is that? And besides, I thought the red and white was so cute. I love the designs in here. And I really haven't had a chance to play with it much. I've made a couple different cards, but I am in love with this paper. It's adorable. Okay, so that's our 1 1/8 piece. And here is our 2 1/4 inch piece. So simple. We all like easy cards to make. Sometimes it's fun to have a challenge, but you know, card making can be for any level you want. You can step it up. You could keep it simple. And either way, people love getting anything simple or stepped up in the mail. Okay, so here's where I came up with a different idea, a whole different inside. So instead of using my white panel here, I'm using another piece of Designer Series paper. It's also cut at 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. So we're going to put this on because I told you we're going to change up the inside just a little bit. So this is going to come right here. And sometimes when I've made these cards, I've had it, oh, look at that. I've had it show through on when I close it. So I did want to try to get it as close to fitting as I can. If that bothers you, you might want to put that piece on first so you know you can slide it around a little bit and then work backwards. So that was another tip. Okay, so simply on the front, I have a piece of glue on here. Let me flip this over. So simply on the front, I am going to show you the front and then I'll show you what I did on the inside. So I just took a piece of white. It's cut at 2 1/2 inches by 1 1/4 inch. I just needed something to make this little tag we're going to do. Oh, I see a little thumbs up going by. You kind of like the Old Olive, right, for the old-fashioned peel. I know it. And a lot of people are really like traditional colors as well. So I'm going to take and make my little tag for the front. And I used the layering circles. And this is going to pop up just like this card. It's going to pop up, and I'm going to go ahead and just use the same stamps. But I'm going to use the Old Olive ink because that is my cardstock color. So we have a holly jolly Christmas. And I'll go ahead and ink that up, stamp it. And what's funny is you don't really have to stamp it straight because it's a circle. So it doesn't matter. You can turn it and spin it any which way you need to, right? I'll put this closed for a moment until I can get back to that. So we just, oh my goodness. Like I said, I just got these nails done. And sometimes I can't function with them. They're dipped, so they make them thicker than my regular nails. Okay, here we go. So this is going to simply pop up here. And I think I just got a smudge of ink. Oh, well. Oh, well, it happens. I love being able to just give you guys some fun ideas. There's so many ideas out there. And by the way, I have a YouTube channel that is Candy Michael, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can find me that way. I do have a link. If you go to my candystampers.com site and you're not getting my emails, you can sign up there for my email list and then find out about classes and or anything else that's going on, like when the clearance rack changes or anything like that. So we have a nice letter that just came out today. I want to move this over because I kind of wanted it to hang off this side. And I had it over too far. There we go. So let's straighten that out. Well, it's not really hanging over as much as this one was, but you get the idea. So I left a little bit of space here because I want to use my ribbon, but I'll put that on last. I want to show you what I'm doing for the inside. So for the inside, I have another little panel here, and this is cut at 3.5 by 4 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this and just glue it on the inside. So it'll be a whole different look to the card. You can do them either way. It's so much fun. If you really want to use up your designer paper, then this is perfect. And if you want to do the other way, where you don't, maybe you don't have another piece of paper you want to use. So this stamp that I'm going to use is called Encircled in Warmth. I just pulled some stamps that I had on my shelf because I love using what I buy because I don't always do that. But I like showing you guys this. So I'm using the You Warm My Heart, and it's going to be a really large stamp, but that's okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to fill this block. You can use a smaller stamp, make it so you have more room to write. Of course, you can use whichever works best. Look at that font. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm all about the fonts, and I love this one. So I'm going to give this just a second to dry. Make sure I don't smear it. But I'm going to put this down. Oops, I bumped it. And then you can decorate it more if you want. Like if I had the little candy stamp, hasn't come in yet. But if I had this little swirl, that'd be cute to put those on there. You can do little things like that. I'll show you on some of my other cards. You love it? Oh, thank you. And then look, when it closes, and then this one opens, look at how adorable. So you have the Old Olive card, or you have the Granny Apple Green. So hopefully some of you guys are still deciding which color you like better. And if you have a favorite design, if you like this one with the little more, the strip here to stamp, or if you like this one with the big area to stamp, just let me know which one you love. So those are the cards that I wanted to make with you. And now I want to share a couple more that I did make over the past couple of weeks for some classes that I did. And these ladies went crazy over these cards. So here is another holiday one. And I think I just used the stamp set, but I don't know where I put it. Oh, yeah. This was the Holly Jolly Wishes stamp set, along with another one that has the pine cones in it, but I don't have it written down. And look at on the inside. So this is another one of our smaller 6x6 packs that we have. It's in the annual catalog, actually. And the coordinating papers that go with it are gorgeous. And so we just hand stamped the little holly instead of putting words in here. And I thought that was just a fun card. Like I said, some of the ladies in my classes, well, the ladies that took the class were just so excited because it was a very, very easy card. And they were able to make a couple of those. So here's another one using smoky slate background and with the peaceful, what is that one called? I just had it because we looked it up yesterday, but I will get that name. It's a beautiful, beautiful paper, Peaceful Place. And it's in the back of our mini catalog. It says it's on page 37. This paper has a real sheen to it. It's like a foil look. I don't know if you can see that. Thanks, Maureen. Granny Apple is bright. I do like that. Thanks. Okay, so this one I added some of the gems. Oh, I didn't do that on the guy's card. But when you open this one, we used the Whimsy Trees. I think that's the name of that stamp set. And just stamped it off and then stamped it again in Mossy. And this is like a real pretty smoky slate color. But isn't that cool? There's so many different designs to this paper. This is the back of the one. But there's so many different designer papers that we have that you could just, you guys, your imagination is going to go wild. Telling you. Before I show you that last card, I wanted to put the little dots on here. They're called the matte decorative dots. And I just thought it needed a little more something on the front. I did it on that one, but I didn't do it on this one. So I just used, there's 4 different sizes on these. And these are super cute. And I love the fact that they have adhesive on it because I can simply grab them and just place them where I want them. And then I did take one of the bigger ones, making sure you get that adhesive off of there. There we go. So that card now is truly finished because it just needed a little bit of pop dots on there. Okay, and then my last card that I made this last week was for the BFF. So if you saw my little video before I went live, I did a little BFF card. Super cute using the dressed up set and dies. And this was the well-penned paper that came in the celebration. And if you have any of that paper like I do, you can make a ton of these cards. So look how cute is this. And I have to give a huge shout out to Ida because Ida said you need to have that shoe colored red and put a wink of Stella right on that shoe so it's nice and shiny. Can you guys see that shine? Isn't that cute? So thanks, Ida, for your awesome idea. And then we popped it up with a little bling. But I thought that was adorable. This is using the basic gray cardstock on the back. So again, you guys, all of the measurements are the same for each one of these cards. The dies I used were the tailor-made dies, the layering circle dies, and the stitched rectangle dies. And then, let's see, I think I can pull it up. And then you see I have my measurements, so quickly write them down. I will leave the screen up for a minute as I chit-chat with you. So a couple of things, again, if you guys can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and click on the bell to get notifications, I'm going to be posting some videos there. On Facebook Live, I feel like I'm kind of limited and I want to get more people to see some of our fun creations that we're coming up with. And I can just post them all the time and you guys can go in and pop in anytime and see them. I will always do my Facebook Lives on Wednesdays. And if I can't, I will let you know ahead of time. But I'm just so excited about my YouTube channel. I've had it for a long time and I just haven't done a lot with it. So I'm trying to really get it going. This morning I made a video using our embossing folder. It's the Merry Medley. And I did show you a tutorial on how I used the embossing folder with using some inks. So you have to go check it out. It is on my channel and you can see that there. That was this morning, and I posted it already, so go check it out. I'm super excited. Those are the type of videos that I want to keep doing, a lot like my lives. Let's see, what else? Here again is my host code for this month. They did just update the clearance rack, so go take a look. And if you want to join Stampin' Up! And do what we do and have fun stamping and just creating, you can always join my Stampin' Up! Team, Candy Stampers, and all of that information is on my candystampers.com site. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm going to pull this up here so you can see all the cards we made. Today. And again, you have all the measurements, so hopefully that helps for you to go and create your own cards. I love making tutorials for you, and I hope you have an awesome day. And I'm excited to see you next week for at 411 for some 411 stamping fun. But I will tell you that I will be traveling next week, so if I can't be here, I may do something ahead of time, just in case. But I will post that early in the week to let you know, because I can't stop sharing with all of you. I love doing this, and I know you guys I hope you truly enjoy it as well. So thank you for joining me today. We will see you soon, and happy stamping. Bye, everyone.